It operates in temperatures cold enough to freeze diesel fuel solid, and it's the only machine trusted to keep Antarctica's runways alive during polar winter. The Piston Bully 300 Polar is the most recognized vehicle on the entire Antarctic continent. Built by German manufacturer Kessbohrer, engineered specifically for conditions that destroy conventional machinery within hours. Powered by a 240 horsepower turbocharged diesel engine, with a cold weather package that keeps it running at -50 degrees Celsius. Standard engines crack. This one doesn't. Its rotating tiller at the rear processes snow into a perfectly compacted surface, not just flattened, structurally reinforced. Antarctic runways prepared by this machine support fully loaded C-17 military transport aircraft. The cabin is pressurized and heated independently from the engine. If the engine dies in a storm, the crew survives. That's not a feature, that's a survival requirement. Every major Antarctic research station operates at least one. McMurdo, Concordia, Vostok, the machine that keeps science alive at the bottom of the world. And perhaps the most impressive detail, a single piston bully can prepare an entire 3-kilometer runway in one continuous overnight shift. The most important machine nobody has ever heard of. It was built for American farmland. Then someone drove it onto the Antarctic ice sheet and asked it to pull 500 tons across frozen terrain at -40 degrees. The Challenger MT-86-5B is a tracked agricultural tractor originally manufactured by AG Kyo. Chosen for Antarctic operations not because it was designed for it, because nothing else survived the conditions as consistently. Powered by a 570 horsepower Caterpillar engine modified with Arctic fuel systems and hydraulic fluid that doesn't thicken in extreme cold. Standard hydraulics freeze solid within minutes outside. Its rubber track system distributes weight across a massive surface area, prevents the machine from punching through ice layers that would swallow a wheeled vehicle completely. Used primarily in traverse operations crossing the Antarctic interior, teams of 2 or 3 units linked together haul fuel bladders, construction modules, and scientific equipment hundreds of kilometers from coastal stations to inland bases. One documented traverse from McMurdo Station to the South Pole covered over 1,600 kilometers of pure ice. The Challengers never stopped moving, and perhaps the most surprising fact, these machines require full engine rebuilds after every single Antarctic season. The continent consumes machinery the way fire consumes paper. A farm tractor that conquered the most hostile terrain on Earth. It carries construction modules the size of shipping containers across terrain where roads don't exist and never will, in complete darkness, during polar winter. The Prinoth Panther XL is a heavy-duty tracked carrier built by Italian-Canadian manufacturer Prinoth, originally designed for extreme alpine construction. Adapted for Antarctic logistics after proving itself in conditions no other vehicle survived consistently. Powered by a 530 horsepower engine with a fully integrated cold weather protection system. Every fluid line is heated independently. Every seal is rated for temperatures that shatter standard rubber instantly. Its articulated chassis flexes across uneven ice surfaces that would high center a rigid frame vehicle permanently. The machine bends where others break. Used extensively by European Antarctic programs for constructing remote field camps and relay stations. Delivers prefabricated building modules, fuel systems, and scientific equipment to locations unreachable by aircraft in bad weather. Operators describe driving it in whiteout conditions using GPS alone. No visibility, no landmarks, just coordinates and trust in the machine beneath them. One Panther XL unit logged over 4,000 operational hours in a single Antarctic season without a single mechanical failure. And perhaps the most remarkable detail, its tracks leave almost no permanent surface damage on Antarctic snow. A machine that moves mountains without leaving a mark. At -50 degrees Celsius, standard steel shatters like glass. This bulldozer was built specifically for temperatures that destroy every other machine on the continent. The Caterpillar D6N XL Polar is a purpose-built cold-weather bulldozer operated primarily at Antarctic research stations. Modified from the standard D6N platform with extensive Arctic engineering packages that transform it into something almost unrecognizable from the original. Its steel composition is fundamentally different. Standard construction steel becomes dangerously brittle below -20. The D6N Polar uses specialized low-temperature alloys that maintain structural integrity down to -57 degrees Celsius. Every hydraulic line runs through a dedicated heating circuit. Engine block heaters keep internal temperatures stable during shutdown periods. Cold starting protocols take up to 45 minutes before the machine moves a single meter, used for runway construction, station foundation preparation, and emergency snow removal during polar storms that bury entire buildings overnight. Operators work in shifts never exceeding 90 minutes outside the cab. Frostbite risk at operating temperatures makes longer exposure immediately dangerous. One D6N unit at McMurdo Station has been continuously operational for over 12 Antarctic seasons without full replacement, and perhaps the most impressive detail, it can move over 500 cubic meters of compacted snow per hour. The machine that builds civilization at the end of the world. It carries fully equipped living modules across open Antarctic ice, entire rooms, with people inside. Moving at -45 degrees through complete whiteout conditions, the Casbohrer Power Bully is a heavy transport tracked vehicle manufactured by the same German company behind the piston bully. Where the piston bully prepares surfaces, the power bully moves everything that goes on top of them. Powered by a 180 horsepower turbocharged diesel engine with a full Arctic protection package, compact but extraordinarily capable for its size, designed to maximize payload while minimizing ground pressure on fragile ice surfaces. Its flatbed platform accepts standardized ISO container modules, research laboratories, medical facilities, sleeping quarters, kitchen units. The Power Bully delivers complete infrastructure to locations with no roads, no infrastructure, and no margin for mechanical failure. Operators report the machine's low center of gravity makes it surprisingly stable on steep ice slopes that would roll heavier vehicles instantly. Used extensively by German and Australian Antarctic programs for seasonal station resupply operations covering hundreds of kilometers of featureless ice terrain. In documented operations, Power Bully convoys have successfully delivered over 200 tons of equipment in single traverse missions. And perhaps the most remarkable detail, its heating system keeps cargo at stable temperatures even when outside conditions reach instant frostbite levels. The world's most reliable moving building. It floats, it drives on ice, it crosses open water, and it does all three without stopping or reconfiguring anything. The Foremost Delta III is an articulated amphibious tracked vehicle built by Canadian manufacturer Foremost Industries, designed from the ground up for terrain that cannot be classified as land, water, or ice because it is constantly all three simultaneously. Powered by a diesel engine driving 4 independent rubber tracks, 2 per articulated section. The pivot point between sections allows the vehicle to flex across pressure ridges and broken ice that would trap any rigid frame vehicle permanently. Its sealed hull provides natural buoyancy in open water, no conversion required, no preparation time. It simply enters water and continues moving using track propulsion. Used in Antarctic coastal operations where sea ice conditions change hourly. One moment solid enough to support the vehicle. The next, fractured into floating panels requiring immediate amphibious capability. Canadian and American polar programs deployed Delta III units for coastal resupply missions where helicopters couldn't fly and conventional vehicles couldn't operate. One documented mission saw Delta III cross 14 separate ice fracture zones in a single 6-hour operation without a single recovery incident. And perhaps the most extraordinary detail, it was originally designed for Arctic oil exploration. Antarctica simply adopted it as essential, the only machine Antarctica couldn't classify, so it mastered all three. These aren't just vehicles, they are the reason humans survive at the bottom of the world. If this video surprised you, subscribe and hit the bell. Next time, we go even further into the machines that make the impossible possible.